What happens when a world-class nutritionist uses blood panels, cellular biology, and fact-based science to create and monitor healthy eating plans with supplements for her clients? Everyone wins. Welcome to Power on Your Plate with Haylie Pomroy, an educational experience that gives you both the actionable and practical tools you can use every day to get your health, weight, and life back on track.
All right, and this is our health and wellness edition. We do each and every Wednesday for the first hour. Dr. Haylie Pomroy joining us now, celebrity nutritionist and New York Times bestselling author of The Fast Metabolism Diet. Dr. Haylie, welcome. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. And as you could tell a moment ago, we do this the first hour of every Wednesday. We talk health and wellness. And as you know, we are a society where, as Americans, we all, myself included, tend to have a love affair with food and probably eat more of things that we shouldn't and not enough of the things that we should. And I was really curious to talk to you, especially when you've got the title of a book called The Fast Metabolism Diet. It seems like as we get older, that thing slows down. So how do we speed it up?
I think one of the most important things for people to understand is that the metabolism is nutrient dependent.
Okay.
So these crazy diets that people are participating in that are fasting and or putting yourself into what we call an alternative metabolic stage of like ketosis,
okay,
that will not speed your rate of burn in the long run. So remember, it's nutrients. You've got to put food on your plate, power on your plate if you want to heal the muscle.
What you're telling me is in some cases, those may have long-term ill effects if you stayed on that on and on. I mean, just for an example, Dr. Haylie, I've known some folks that just even personally where the keto thing is sort of their way of life, and they've probably been on keto for a number of years. What you're telling me is that's really not the way to do it?
Right. Well, a lot of people say they're on a keto diet and actually aren't into ketosis, especially individuals, like you just said, that can sustain something like that for a long period of time. But our bodies are designed to be, we are nutrient dependent, whether we grow hair or strong skin, bones. When we put ourselves truly in a metabolic alternative state like that, it is designed for short-term crisis intervention. And our hormones absolutely re-regulate when we put that kind of stress on our body for a long period of time.
Again, I learn something new every day on this program, especially on Wednesdays. All of that makes sense. So I guess give our audience some tips on if they're looking to shed a few pounds or just eat a little more healthy. I mean, I guess dumb question on my part. Is it pretty straightforward that most foods for most people will do the same things, or is each person different when it comes to what foods they should eat to really speed up and or help their metabolism?
I really believe, I've been in clinical practice for 27 years, and I really believe that every body is different. And so we incorporate food very strategically. We use food clinically to evoke a change.
Okay.
So when an individual is looking to change something about their body, whether that's the scale or their blood pressure or their lipid levels like cholesterol or their mood, energy, libido, anxiety, all of those things, the term metabolism means to change, right? So we use food very prescriptively and very therapeutically to evoke a clinical change. So food is medicine. It's not like medicine. Food is actually a form of medicine that can change the chemistry. It can change the body structure. It can change the hormones that are secreted. It can change our vitality, right? Our aging process. That's how we use it. So we have quizzes. We have all sorts of self-assessments so that you can use food prescriptively to heal the body once and for all. There is not a one-size-fits-all diet because we are not having a one-size-fits-all experience, genetic predispositions, and or environmental influences, right? So to think that we can use the same chemistry to affect every body puts a lot of disappointment in all of our bodies, right? So I believe diet, the word diet means did I eat today? D-I-E-T.
Good one. Good one. I like it.
And whatever it is that you want to achieve. I have world-class athletes, Olympic athletes, individuals that have lost 157 pounds. We were just talking to one of our community members. You have to treat the body with the appropriate food, and you have to heal the pathways. And that's what the metabolism is, the metabolic pathways that make the body function, either in a healthy way or in an unhealthy way.
Makes total sense. Again, I interview a lot of different people on a regular basis. And I will say, Dr. Haylie, the majority of the people that I vet on the front side and kind of get to understand, because I don't want anybody with this to your point, crazy, weird diets. And believe me, I get so many requests. It's like, wait a minute. Okay, time out. I've really got to look at this. And I am somebody that back in 2010 lost over 100 pounds. So I know a little bit about some of this and some of what you're talking about and some of these different things when it comes to diet and so on. And I know there's a lot of crazy fad diets that typically just aren't what people really need in the end. So I get all that. I understand that. On the same token, I think it's hard for a lot of folks to really understand. And I like your approach because what you're saying is everybody is a little bit different. So there isn't a one size fits all. But at the end of the day, it still does come back down to food, nutrition, the things that you're putting into your body, into your mouth, by the way, because that's how we take it. And all of that works in combination to be healthy at the end of the day.
It does. However, when your body is in metabolic imbalance, especially the extreme cases, when you have polycystic ovarian syndrome, when you have hormone-based weight gain, when you're diabetic, or even if you're an individual that has adrenal fatigue, your body is not working the way that maybe your friend that can have a burger and stuff does. There's a metabolic dysfunction that happens. And so many times we put the blame and the guilt and the shame on people as if they're abusing food. What we don't take a moment to stop and look at is what is metabolically going on, what is going on in the biochemistry of that body, and why is the scale stuffed and butt to eat about it.
Okay.
We cannot squeeze everybody into this box that says, you're doing it wrong. Actually, maybe we don't have the right prescription to heal what is wrong in the body.
I want to take a really quick break to get you guys some information that I think you're going to need.
Hey guys, it's Haylie here. Having a hardcover copy of the Fast Metabolism Diet book can be critical to your success. It is a workbook that's going to help you get healthier today. If you don't have a book or you want to give one to a friend or one of your doctors, just go to HayliePomroy.com/free book and I'll give you a book. This is what you're going to need to get to the next level.
We've been doing health and wellness on Wednesdays for about 6 years now, so it's near and dear to me. I feel like, a lot of people don't live a very healthy lifestyle. I also know that when you don't feel good, nobody around you feels good because you're typically sort of a bear and not fun to live around because when you don't feel good, everybody around you knows it. So the better we live, the better we feel, the less pain we have. I mean, all these different things, which I know food feeds into, pardon the pun, but it really does feed into all those things that I'm talking about. The better we feel, the better we live life, and the more fun we are to be around.
Right. And we call those non-scale victories, right? When someone says, I was able to pick up my grandkids, or I just feel more alert, my memory, cognition. I woke up this morning with hope, with inspiration. I have the libido to swing from the chandelier. Right. Those are non-scale. That means that body is being nourished and the body is metabolically sound to the point where it can use the nourishment that's there. We also need to take into consideration that our food in the American diet is laden with obesogens, things that are known to stimulate a hormone imbalance to proliferate obesity. It is also laden with addictive substances as well as what we call anti-foods, right? So there are additives and preservatives that actually void the nutrients in the gut from what you're consuming. In my opinion, when you get me on a soapbox, it shouldn't be allowed to be called food.
I agree.
It should be additives, preservatives, coloring dyes.
You're right.
And there's subcategories people want to choose to be in. But we've got to think about the fact, too, that if we look at iron alone, right, the spinach that our grandmother ate versus the spinach that we eat today is 24 times more nutrient dense than my grandma's spinach than what I can eat today. Also, fast food burgers. When I was a kid, I'm 50, right? When I was a kid, the fast food burgers that were out there were a larger percentage of actual food than they are today.
True.
So there's a lot of things in our way and that are also metabolic disruptors that affect the immune system, that affect bone density, that promote cancer. We know this, and they're still allowed in our foods. So all of my programs are extremely prescriptive, putting you in the plan first and foremost, and not some theory. Okay, I'm in clinical practice. Not some theory that it's good to eat good food. Okay, yay, great. Now move on. What are you going to do about my health? I didn't get into this industry because I thought food was cool. I got into it because of my own autoimmune disorder. I was on 80 milligrams of prednisone. I was hospitalized with partial failure in my right kidney. I had a strep infection in the kidney. I had to learn how to biohack my biochemistry, get myself back to health. And it was the combination of putting power on the plate and finding the right supplementation to heal the metabolic pathways that had gone awry in my body. So for 27 years now, I've been out there beating the doors down and saying, look, guys, Don't turn on you. Don't turn on yourself. If you're having a hard time losing weight, if you're not feeling good, be kind, be gentle, and be totally curious as to what your body's trying to tell you. I always say that. Look, if the scale doesn't move, we want to find out why. And it's 9 times out of 10, it's not what you are putting in or are not putting in your body. It's, are you eating to heal the why the scale's down?
Makes sense.
You've got to heal the why, otherwise you're going to be dieting the rest of your life. And when I say dieting, like, we are the only species, right? When you put together a nutrition program, even for your dog, but for a racehorse or for an exotic animal like black rhino or something, right? We talk about putting together nutrition plans. We talk about a diet being something that enhances performance. In the human population, a diet is all about taking away, about refraining, about guilt, about shame. A diet should be, how do we nurture you to get you to where you want to go? So we always start with self-assessment, always start with health wish list, and then we use foods prescriptively. I've got a great app. It's free, and it's Fast Metabolism Diet app. You can log your food, you can log your water, but it helps with the grocery list, helps to use, like the first 2 days of the week, we focus on the adrenals. Then we focus on the liver and alkalinizing the body. Then we focus on the hormones, and we rotate that, because a body in need is not a body that needs to be pushed. It's a body that needs to be fed.
I want to take a really quick break to get you guys some information that I think you're going to need.
Hey guys, it's Haylie. This is a lot of stuff we're processing through, and right about now you may have some questions. If you go to HayliePomroy.com/join me, I would love to give you a 30-day free trial of our member community. This is where you go to get your questions answered. I'm there, my team's there, and we can really support you through your specific metabolism journey.
We've gone all this long, and I apologize. I should have mentioned this earlier. How do folks find you and get more information on everything you've just talked about?
So right now we have an incredible medical donor. She's at a major hospital university that just donated tons of the hardcover copy books. So you can actually get a free book right now. If you go to HayliePomroy.com, you pay shipping. While those last, I'll throw that out there.
Okay. And by the way, real quick, for everybody listening, I want to make sure I say this correctly. It's Halie.
Haylie.
Haylie. Sorry, did I not say that right?
Yep.
Haylie. Yes,
Yep.
yes. Sorry.
Pomroy.com. Yeah. So the other thing is we have a membership. We have a very robust community. We run challenges. We answer questions. We help you get prepared for your doctor's visit. Right now we're running a free 15-day trial.
Okay.
We have the highest retention rate because we offer a lot of value. But you can go on there, check it out, ask a million questions, totally free. That's also on HayliePomroy.com. But really, if you think about it, our book's translated into 40 different languages. We've sold millions of copies, won all kinds of awards on Apple for our app. You can get a free book right now. Grab it. These books have been given out by doctors from UCLA, Brigham and Women's Hospital, from your friends, your family. People get them in the library. But bottom line is, I want you to have tools and resources to achieve what you want in your health. Just always remember, diet is, did I eat today to achieve whatever it is? And my clients, maybe that's to get off an anti-rejection drug, maybe it's to swim the English Channel, whatever it is that you desire, turn towards nutrition and use prescriptive plans. And this is going to be my litmus test. As far as these fasting and this keto stuff, and I'm sorry, but I'm just really frustrated about it right now. If you wouldn't send your kindergartner out the door, or your grandchild out the door with the food that you're doing for a diet, it's not truly a diet.
Good point.
In the sense of feeding, it's a diet as far as deficiency. We are leaning on eating disorder culture in order to make people feel guilty for not being able to lose weight, and it's heartbreaking.
You are 1,000% correct. I would, again, the door is open, Dr. Haylie, for you to come back anytime you would like. In fact, if you would join us on a routine basis, I would love it. I know our listeners would as well. You are speaking the language that I fully understand, embrace. I understand it myself. I've done it not with your program, but something very, very similar. And we could talk even off air about some of that. But I understand fully what you're talking about. You've been a great find. And I know it took a little bit for us to kind of get everything put together for you to join us today. But again, you are welcome anytime. This is fabulous. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Put power on your plate, guys, and have a beautiful day.
We'll do it. Dr. Haylie, we'll be in touch. And again, you're welcome back anytime. Thank you again for your time today.
Having me.
You bet. Great. Really appreciate it. Again, it's HayliePomroy.com. We'll have that up on our website a little bit later tonight. So it's HayliePomroy.com. Again, producer Ann will put that up a little bit later.
Thank you for listening to another inspiring episode of Power on Your Plate with Haylie Pomroy. Please remember to share the amazing science and tools with someone you love. The more we know, the more we all lift our global health together. Visit www.hayliepomroy.com to get notes from today's show and to take your education and health to a new level of success and happiness.
Information on this podcast is provided for informational purposes only and is not intended as a substitute for the advice provided by your physician or other healthcare professional or any information contained on or in any product label or packaging. You should not use the information on this podcast for diagnosing or treating a health problem or disease or prescribing any medication or other treatment. You should always speak with your physician or other healthcare professional before taking any medication or nutritional, herbal, or homeopathic supplement, or adopting any treatment for a health problem. If you have or suspect that you have a medical problem, promptly contact your healthcare provider. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking professional advice because of something you've heard on this podcast. Information provided on this podcast and the use of any products or services purchased as a result of this podcast does not create any type of professional relationship between you and any of the associates affiliated with this podcast. Information and statement regarding dietary supplements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration and are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.